haven't had a chance to get the battery assembled. But I also had another pretty major problem occur. One of my welded studs off cell number 11, when I was disassembling the pack, has actually come right off the weld. So it's had a bad, came right off the terminal I should say, so it's had a bad weld. Like I said, these cells were probably C grade at best, and yeah, the welding job is less than ideal. So I've had this stud come off now. So I don't have a laser welder or a TIG welder for that matter, so I have no way of really reattaching this from a weld point of view. Because I do have flexible bus bars, my first instinct now is to drill and tap the battery that has a problem. We'll go have a look at that now. So here's the battery. I've actually started to drill before I thought about videoing this. So the idea is I'm going to drilling a 5mm hole with the drill press here to keep it nice and straight. And I know depth on these terminals is a bit of a problem as well, so I'm going very, very cautiously down into the aluminium terminal here. This aluminium is notorious for being super soft and stripping, so when I tap it, I'm hoping I can get down 5 or 6mm. I'm gonna have to go and buy a bottom tap as well, which I don't have, to be able to tap right to the base of this hole. So yeah, fun times, but I'm not sure what else I can really do. So other than that, I'm up for a new cell, which yeah, isn't desirable, and of course will take even more time. It came straight off in my hands as I was unscrewing the battery from its testing. I didn't even really torque up those nuts when I was doing my testing. I just sort of did it semi-snug by hand. Yeah, not cool, but anyway, we'll see what happens. So, little update. Here is the repaired cell. I've managed to get a M6 post in there. I'm just praying that there's enough material on this terminal to hold this down and in. There's literally about I'd say 3, maybe 4mm of aluminium under there, which I've now threaded. I had to make my own bottoming tap out of sacrificial tapered one, so I was able to hit that on the angle grinder. So and I've yeah, created my own there. So it was a bit crude, but it worked, so that's the main thing. And yeah, I'm just going to now clean up this cell and all the other cells basically. So stick around and hopefully we'll have a battery pack assembled in a short time. So the process that I'm going to use to try and clean these terminals is, or that I will be cleaning the terminals with, is a bit of a Scotch-Brite here, Scotch-Brite scourer if you like, and I'm just going to give them a bit of a twisting action to give them a little mini polish, and then of course there'll be residual fluff and Scotch-Brite on there. So to combat that, I've got some isopropyl alcohol, which I will then be cleaning each terminal with, and I'll do that just prior to then applying a little bit of MG Chemicals 847, which is conductive assembly paste. So I'm going to put a very, very light smear of that on each of these studs and this terminal here, and that'll be what I'll be then placing the bus bars on top of that. So I'll clean each of the bus bars before they go on as well. I'll give them a wipe down to make sure they've got no grime or oil from hands, etc. over time, and that way will hopefully provide the best conductive, the cleanest connection, I guess. So yeah, we'll get to work on that. Now I know I've been talking about how I was going to mount the BMS. Well, through the power of the internet and a friend with a 3D printer, I made up, or I had these made up, which are little plastic 3D printed standoff mounts, I guess, for the JK. So these will allow a small computer screw basically to attach these to the jk-bms, and then I should be able to use a standard screw, wood screw through here to attach that to the board. So yeah, hooray for the internet and 3D printing. It's revolutionised the DIY's world, I guess, with the ability to fabricate stuff that otherwise you could not. So big thumbs up for Muzz for printing these up for me. Thanks, mate. Okay, so I got the mounts attached now to the BMS, and yeah, I'm thinking it's going to go just like that. No drill for this one. It's all a bit too, need a bit of a light touch, I think. Now, I think there's going to be a bit of I'm not going to be able to use the cover for this fuse because I'm going to have a 90-degree lug coming off this so we can go out the battery box. So yeah, that'll be a little bit tricky. I think we'll be okay. That's pretty much the layout here now. I think we're ready for the batteries. I just need to finish the repair of cell number 11, and we can start assembling the pack again. Hopefully for its semi-permanent location. So that'll be exciting. I'm here to tell you that this MG Chemicals paste is a bit of a nightmare to put on. I don't have a small enough, I actually need a cotton bud to be able to put this on, but I don't have one of those, so I'm using an old painting brush, which is probably even still too big. I'm just dabbing the smallest amount on. And the idea of this is it sits between the two metals, and it's conductive, and it fills in slight imperfections in the surfaces to help supposedly provide better conductivity. So that's the theory. I just don't know whether it's worth the trouble, to be honest. I think a nice clean terminal would probably go just as well. So then I'm just taking off the excess with this cloth, which just tends to make a mess. It gets, without gloves, it gets all over your hands, and it gets all over everything, to be honest. I'm not sure about it. Not sure I like it. It's just a nightmare to put on. So anyway, we're working through the pack. I'm just seating them, treating each battery and then seating it in, and I'm just placing the bus bars on top for now, and I'll connect the balance leads in a minute. So yep, this one's now ready to slot in. Well, actually, no, this is number 12. Whoa. Got the infamous number 11 to slot in now. Here he is with his dodgy terminal. So, hopefully he's going to be fine. Nervous much? And then 12. And we've got 4 to go. Okay, they're all in. That was a bit of a tedious task, but really hopeful it's going to be the right answer to help the battery. I guess a little bit anxious to see how number 11 holds up. His terminal, that set screw is sitting a little prouder than I'd like. It is below the lip, so that's good. But yeah, here we are. So it's time for some balance leads, and yeah, screwing them down now. So it's always exciting when this happens, and then we'll be checking voltages before getting too carried away with connecting the BMS. So here we go. Okay, so yeah, all the balance leads are connected now. Dodgy 11's connected. I haven't torqued these down, these are only finger tight, and I guess the first thing I'm going to do is just check the balance leads and check the pack voltage just to make sure we're looking good. And once the leads and the voltages check out on the multimeter, I'll look to use a torque wrench and torque those down, except for Lucky 11. Lucky 11, I'm going to go very, very gentle by hand on that one. I'm very skeptical whether it's going to make it, but I guess we'll see. Hopefully my tapping job was pretty ordinary actually. I've not gone in straight with that tap. I know the drill was straight, but I haven't lined that tap up perfectly straight. So even so, that bolt's not sitting. That nut's not sitting real flush to the base of the terminal block. The good news, I guess, is the surface area is much larger on that. I am fearful if I tighten that down, it's just going to rip straight out. So I'm just going to see how it goes. It could turn into the weakest link, I guess, for the pack, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm now going to go and test those, test the BMS wires, and we'll back in a jiffy. Alright, got the trusty multimeter here. Probably won't be able to see the display, so you'll have to trust me as I call them out. So let's give it a go. So first one is I'll just check pack voltage. So I guess I'm looking for, or hoping for, 40 something volts. The state of charge on the pack is on all the batteries is really low. It it disconnected after about 4 days of running without solar. I was doing a bit of a discharge test. So yeah, there we go. We got 49.6 on the pack voltage. So that's sort of what I'd expect. And yeah, if I go walking along the cell, of course, I'll get the cumulative voltages as I go, to be expected. So yeah, I guess 11 at least is passing electrons, so that's a very good start. I did check it, don't worry, after I fiddled with it. So yeah, like I said, we'll see how we go with 11. So now onto the BMS cable. This is always hard to do, but in essence, it's the same deal. We're just making sure that there's no unexpected voltages here. So I should see, yeah, so I've got 3 volts, 3.01 on number 1, 6.02, so there, yeah, so it'll go up by 3 volts basically. So looks like each cell is just above 3 volts. 902, 1201, 1501, 1801, and so on and so forth. 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 40, and 43. And again, now I should see, is that going to work? No, it's not going to work on this one, is it? So this one's a little harder to do because but I know it's 16. So the jk-bms unfortunately breaks out after 13, is it 13 or 12, on the same plug, and then they go to a secondary plug. The BMS can actually handle more than 16 cells, but yeah, it's just a bit, I don't know, it's a bit funny in terms of you've then got 3 cells, 2 cells basically, so 15 and 16 on this cable, as well as the BMS's power, which is basically 16 also. So yeah, it's a little weird setup, but once it's all together, I'll soon forget about it. So there we go, all the voltages check out, so that's an awesome sign. I am now going to find my trusty torque wrench and torque these nuts down. So this is my torque wrench. It's a Norbar, yeah, quite a good one. I bought it many years ago. So it feels very tight. Alright. never great leaning over batteries, I guess. I'm just going to position myself a little closer. Definitely don't want this coming in contact with these. I might actually go and get an extension, I think. Except I don't have an extension, so just back to being really, really careful. Where's I up to? Let's go. Right. So that's them all talked up. Yeah, I might try and activate the BMS. First, I'm going to tidy up these. Balance leads. So there we go. We've got some cable ties on there. I just need to snip these. Guess I should have done that before I started this section, but yeah, looks a lot neater. Unfortunately, down here it's going to need a lot more work. I've just you're left with so much excess cable that you don't use, and you don't really want to cut them off in case you do. So we'll see how we go. I'll have a think about that and what I'm going to do, and we'll carry on. But now, yeah, I'm keen to reactivate the BMS. Oh, I've got some battery temperature wires. I really don't know where they're going to go. It's very, very tight in here. We did build it quite well. I've got a little bit of space up the back there, and I may even pack that with some material to keep the cells nice and packed together. But yeah, so I've just got these battery temperature sense wires. In Australia, I guess we don't get the extremes like European and some American countries do. So yeah, batteries freezing and is never too much of a concern, or I guess maybe over temp. It's always good to have them, so I'll find somewhere for them to go. But yeah, they're a bit redundant, and the leads aren't very long, so I'm not sure what they were really expecting, where they really expect them to go in a pack, but we'll bung them in, and it's always good data. Anyway, I'll come back after that and a short break. Okay, so I've just activated the BMS again, and I showed that in one of my other videos, so I'm not going to bother doing it again. But basically, yeah, it needs a charge voltage across the pack and battery leads. So my power supply on the ground here I set to 58 volts and applied some voltage with no current, and boom, she has activated, so that's fantastic. So what I wanted to do this time, and I didn't do it last time, was properly calibrate the BMS. So I noticed it was always showing a different voltage to other sources. So we've got the smart shunt, my multimeter, and yeah, there was always just a little bit of discrepancy between that. So I am going to go and get my my nice flute meter, and I am going to set the voltages here. So let's have a look. If we do take a look here, we can see it's currently showing 49.5 volts, which is right. It's automatically started to balance the cells, which is good. So yeah, I did notice the lower numbered cells were much lower than some of the others. There's quite a difference between the cells at the moment. So yeah, I'm hoping to now let the pack charge up, and we'll give it
basically bring it online. I haven't got everything where I want it on the board, but yeah, I just wanted to get this pack charged and just basically let it sit there and do its top balance ad nauseum, so without load. But yeah, first thing I want to do now is calibrate this. So at the moment we have 0 amps, so that's good. If I go into the settings, capacity, I think I do need to adjust that because clearly it's not 305. I'll leave that for now. So calibrating voltage, calibrating current. So yeah, so there we go. It thinks there's 100 milliamps, which is really weird. So that's not right because there is literally nothing going on here at the moment. Put in the magic password. So there is. Why can't I zero that? Okay, wants to fight me. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. So let's have a look at this voltage. So it thinks it's 49.1. Cheap multimeter says 49.6 on the pack. 49.6. So let me just go grab my fluke. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to grab this fantastic model fluke meter. It was on sale, which is very rare, and I was feeling generous. It was still expensive. I can't remember how much it was now, but yeah, I got this a few years ago, and I just think good quality multimeter is it's one of those things you're never going to regret buying. So yeah, let's have a look to see what Mr. Fluke says. I do like the alligator teeth. Definitely makes it easy. 49.57. So there you go. So yeah, a little bit different to the cheaper meter. I can tell you which one I'm going to trust. So now I'll just adjust this voltage calibration in there, like so. I'm going to have one last go at trying to. No, that's the minimum. Okay, I'm not going to fight it. So yeah, so now if I go back, it's reading exactly like the meter is, and we'll work out that capacity a little bit later. So yeah, as I said, there it is, the pack's assembled. Okay, I'm just finishing up making up the battery box cables here. So this is the right angle lug I'm going to use onto the box, and then that goes down to the Anderson plug. So I've got the positive in there already. That's pretty much how it's got to look. And I'll slot the negative in there, and then I've just got to terminate the leads into the wall. Anyway, we'll give that a shot now. So there's the Anderson plug all in now. Terminated that other end. It's a nice sturdy physical connection. I'm able to separate that should I need to. And now I'm going to be able to finish off the end of this box, have that nice and neat, put some support around the cables when they come out, and it should look quite neat. Just putting the box together now, hopefully for a little while. I've got the glands on now. I've got the front face,
And got a little Ruby tag in there just to monitor the temperature of, I guess, this compartment. It'll be interesting to see that. So yeah, I've got 2 screws to go, and yeah, can actually sort of call this done for now, I think, once I put the top cover on. Finally, it's finished. It's been quite a few weeks since I've been able to focus on the box, completing it. But yeah, here it is in its, I guess, semi-permanent new home. Hope to get the covers on and the glands happening, and yeah, I'm generally fairly happy with it. I've added the JK canned USB adapter, which is what this cable is. Probably need to work out a better way to route it, but at the moment it's just going down through the lid, which then feeds BMS information into the servo. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Thanks to Andy's videos, able to follow that fairly easily, and now have remote monitoring of the BMS, which is a great addition. So yeah, there we are. The battery box finally complete.